This AskReddit user asks, what is a great way to make someone feel uncomfortable? Here's a list of things to whisper in people's ears when hugging. I'm just reading a list on the internet and I feel uncomfortable. I killed Mufasa. All is known. Whilst talking to them, occasionally sniff and look confused, as if there is an unusual unidentified smell in the air. Give them a curious glance. Then briefly shake your head. Like, no, it couldn't be them. Could it? Quote. Say, so, my dad died today. Anyways, how's your life? Quote. Look at their kids and starting breathing heavily and grunting. That's a great way to get knocked out. Son, along comes a cop. That'll make everyone within 100 feet uncomfortable. Are we having fun tonight or what? Look constantly at the mouth, shoes or forehead. The person will feel like there is something wrong with those body parts. Or just look them in the eyes but never break eye contact. Most people struggle with eye contact already. Staring them in the eyes will creep out most of them. Being overly touchy or very, very close to them. Giving them nicknames from the first meeting on. Smell their hair from behind and make a deep-voiced mmmhhhh. I could go on forever. Bonus. If you try to get rid of someone who has a crush on you, call them buddy, bro, mate, or talk about how much you like some other boy, girl. Works wonders for men and women. I studied behavioral science at university. A surefire way to make someone uncomfortable is to hold normal eye contact. Then flick your eyes to one other part of their face every 20 or so seconds. They will subconsciously start to think there is something there and then start touching the place you look. If you don't want to engage long enough for this, then all you need to do is stare at their forehead. It's not impolite, but because the eye contact isn't there, although it theoretically should be, they will generally cease interaction without understanding why. On the opposite, if you struggle with eye contact like I do, looking at the bridge of the nose gives the semblance of eye contact without the other person realizing. Otherwise, tell people you are slightly hard of hearing and so will have to watch their mouth when they talk. They are two that work for me. I do the nose thing since I can't figure out which eye I'm supposed to be focusing on. I just close my eyes. Knowing that someone is in a bathroom stall and repeatedly knocking anyway. Or better yet, pounding on the door. Hard. I did this. Except I thought the door was stuck, so I kept shoving at it as hard as I could. The guy came out like, WTF bro. Agree with everything they say. Just go into the wrong bathroom and use it. Talk as fast as you can, running sentences and words into each other. Bonus points if you can change subjects at least twice before you run out of breath, like Jordanin. Real genius. That's a great movie, by the way, not many people have seen it. Then gasp for air for 30 seconds. What the FK did I just read? Talk as fast as you can, running sentences and words into each other. Bonus points if you can change subjects at least twice before you run out of breath, like Jordanin. Real genius. That's a great movie, by the way, not many people have seen it. Then gasp for air for 30 seconds. Being around them for me. Face the wrong way in the elevator. And start mumbling indistinguishable gibberish. What floor? Quote. Jamift gog igik jig hahahahahaha. Quote. Confused face. As doors shut. Quote. I must find a more suitable host body. Quote. Ask a non-pregnant woman when they're due. I did that one time in total innocence. I got the coldest response I have ever heard. I am not pregnant. Ice started forming on the walls. Start talking about clit enlargement. So, you like Bill Cosby? Quote. Simply say, remember me from a long time ago? If they say no, just smile and say, think about it, smile and leave. This happened to me once a couple of years ago and I am still confused. Well, did you think about it? I think he needs more thinking to do. Drink while you think. You peasant. Always hold a conversation standing up with a br. Then if they say something, you call them AFG pervert for looking at your roast beef slayer. FK that roast beef. Talk about your bodily issues. When hugging someone, whisper, "You smell different when you're awake." Quote. Smile and lick your lips whenever they say something you agree with. I do this but like LL Cool J. Licking your lips and wiggling your eyebrows suggestively every time they look at you. Also, fondle your genitals. Stand just a little too close. Not so close that it's obvious. Just a hair closer than is normal. Refuse to rub their shoulders. Put a pea between their mattresses. I wouldn't even notice if another mattress is under my mattress. What about a chicken nugget? I may not feel it physically, but I will most certainly feel it emotionally. Ask them to accompany you into the wine cellar for a lovely cask of wine. And make no mention of the construction project in said cellar. Deep cut. Very nice. What's this from? Edgar Allan Poe. The Cask of Amontillado. No idea if spelled correctly. Tell them that you slept with their parents. If that doesn't work, then say, "IFD your sister." They'll say they don't have a sister and you will say, "You will in 9 months." Just straight up stare at them. And when they look over at you, maintain eye contact for as long as possible. Your bicep would make a decent burger, I think. Why are you using S's instead of C's? Edit. Lol, I just saw your sub. Fix the letter C. Thank you. It's not just S's though. Sometimes it's K. C is useless. Lick their nose. Stare at their forehead and lick your lips. Stare silently outside their bedroom window. Also, smiling while holding a red balloon. Can the balloon also have a picture Maya face making the same expression on it? As a wise man once said, great creeps think alike. Look at their feet, shoes. Open your eyes as wide as you can and say, yes. Feet for bonus point. Breathe heavily while continually staring at any one part of their body. Doesn't matter which part. Just never look away. Ask him if he had eaten some beans. And if no, ask if they want to change that fact. Right now. You are breathing manually. You blink occasionally. You swallow your saliva now and then. You are holding your jaw up. Your tongue doesn't fit in your mouth properly. Your head is tilted. If none of those make them uncomfortable, they might be a robot. Mother FR. Oh, you bitch. Oh. For FK sake. I hate you. Apparently continuing to stand when everybody else takes a seat really unsettles people. At my bus station everyone sits on the metal bench in the queue, then as soon as our bus arrives in the station they jump up right away even though they can't move anywhere as we're still in the queue, and the bus always takes a couple minutes to drive round and stuff. I usually stay seated until it gets there, and I can't tell you how many odd uncomfortable looks this has got from people. Whenever the plane lands, I always wait to stand up until my row can actually unload. There's always several people standing around me, giving me nervous looks, especially standing right behind someone so they can just feel you asserting your dominance. Stand really close to them when you talk to them. I prefer standing about 4 inches behind them as you talk to them. And as they turn to face you, make every effort to orbit with them so you're just like running behind their head as you engage them in an otherwise normal conversation. Go home. Lyndon Johnson. You are supposed to be dead. I like it. Just look through them or at their crotch. Or look through their crotch. Being the fourth person to comment and saying directly to another commentator, for example, "You, octopus pawn. Hey. You can put a pea between my mattress anytime. X. I'm starting to feel very uncomfortable right now. It's okay." Places hand on your knee and smiles at you. Does that feel better? Do you get erections during your colonoscopy or is it just me? OMG. Best comment. youaremanUalybreathinGnow fuckyoujustlost Furiously pat the seat of the chair right next to you. Look them dead in the eye. Smile and say come and sit here. Better still if you don't even know them. Works great if they sit next to you and you immediately get up and leave without explanation. Not include them in a conversation when in a group setting. Psychological bullying at its best. Passive aggression. Humanity's deadliest weapon. Is this a real thing? What about when someone walks in a room and they don't acknowledge you? Extended eye contact. A teacher I used to have did that every single time. She stared a random student in the eyes for extended periods of time. One time I was sitting with the class savage, and when she finished doing her thing I told him I found that so uncomfortable. Then he goes ahead and tells me, "Don't look away. You are the dominant one here. Slightly close your eyes and make a face as if you were staring deeply at her soul. She will be the one that's uncomfortable then." I do it all the time. And it works. Quote, "OHL yeah it works. It's one HL of a trick. I like your feet. Our username checks out." Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos.